Oh, internet, you and your desire to make people lose sleep. Anyone who frequents the internet at all, better yet, anyone who frequents the internet and plays any sort of games or watches people play games, must know of this game by now. Slender. The name will probably either elicit fear in the depths of your soft, monster-fearing hearts, or derisive laughter at the people with soft, monster-fearing hearts. Everyone's heard of or played this game, if only so they can understand what people mean when they say Slender is one of the scariest games, if not the scariest game, in recent years. Of course, when Condemned Criminal Origins is the only other contender for that title, I'm not exactly sure if that's a huge accomplishment in and of itself, but that's a point for another time. I should probably explain the whole Slender mythos a tad bit before I go into the game itself, however, so people aren't left completely in the dark, except for the creepy atmospheric dark of the game. But anyway. In June of 2009, a Photoshop contest was held on the Something Awful forums to manipulate a real photo into something paranormal looking as realistically as possible. Through the mass of crappy photoshopping, the Slender Man myth was created as two black and white images were posted of children with a mysterious, blank-faced figure in the background. For whatever reason, this took off much more than any of the other entries. People started crafting numerous images to feed into the newly created mythos of the Slender Man, a tall, dashingly dressed figure with a blank slate of a face and tentacles. It stayed in this limbo state for a couple of years where some people knew about it if they liked this sort of thing, but some people stayed in pleasant ignorance. That is, until 2012 came along. 2012... Slender... Coincidence? And the little indie game Slender made its debut. I say little, and yet it isn't exactly so little anymore. The game has spawned numerous spin-offs and is burned into the memory of anyone who has played it, if only because there's something about the game that's truly frightening, even if the gameplay is insanely simple. But maybe that's why it accomplishes its goal of being so damn creepy. There's not really any story to speak of. You start the game out as a little girl in a dark forest at night with nothing but a flashlight and... well, that's it actually. You have no gun, because would a mere pistol really be able to kill the Slender Man? I think not. Not to mention the fact that as a little girl, any sizable gun like an assault rifle would probably knock you off from the recoil anyway. Your goal is to find 8 notes with various things scribbled on them. Don't look or it takes you, can't run. Or little doodles of the Slender Man in the middle of what looks to be a forest. Comforting thought given your situation. Don't worry, the notes are usually easy enough to find. Just look for things different from what your average tree in the forest looks like, and you'll probably find a note plastered somewhere on it. You'll have to remember with each playthrough, however, that it is somewhat random, so a note you find in one certain place you may not find in the same place the next time you decide to take on an undoubtedly lethal foray into the game. There is a bad point to collecting the notes, however. With each note acquired, the game gets more and more tense, with the Slender Man appearing with more frequency and the subtle music in the game starting to get more and more terrifying. Shut up, you goddamn percussion! I know Slender Man is right behind me, you do not need to remind me of this! It's even worse after the 3rd page, when you suddenly hear the loud dun of a piano and almost jump out of your chair in utter horror.
There's another one. That's 3. Oh my god. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Jesus! Oh my god!
The flashlight will obviously be very useful throughout the whole game, but it's actually not a good idea to have it on all the time, especially with recent updates. Before, the only con to having it on was that Slender Man would appear more than he would with it off, which is bad enough, but, well, he appears a lot anyway, right? So it doesn't really matter all that much. Now, however, the flashlight has batteries. Yeah, you sons of bitches. The flashlight will literally go off if you have it on for too long, which is both good and bad. Good because, of course, the game being dark makes you even more tense than you would be otherwise, but bad because it also makes the game pretty difficult to even play. There's a difference between, wow, Slender Man kills me all the time, this game is hard, and wow, I can't see shit, this is literally impossible, I'm gonna go play Amnesia. Like I said, as far as story goes, the game has nothing going for it. It all relies on gameplay and scaring the crap out of you. If it did have a story, let's examine it for a second. First of all, who the hell ran throughout the whole forest and stapled notes to rocks in bathrooms? Who did this? Do you have no life, mystery man? Was it the Slender Man? Why did he do this? To lure someone out to try to find them? He's a capable dude. He can go out and find people and devour himself without being a lazy asshole. And that's another thing. Why is this little girl in the forest to begin with? Where are her parents? It's not like she was captured by the Slender Man either. In the beginning, you hear the fence like she's crawling over it to get to the dark, death forest. Shouldn't you be home reading a book or something? Is this her only option because the Slender Man is hunting her everywhere else? Why did she choose to do it at night? What's going on with anything? So yeah, let's just settle with, this game doesn't have a story. But regardless of any sort of lack of story, the game still does exactly what it sets out to do. Scare you more than any other game out right now. This isn't the sort of game you go into wanting astounding gameplay, an expansive story, or beautiful graphics. Even if the game does look decent enough, with atmospheric fog and darkness always present. You play to be scared. End of story. Simple, but more than effective. And if you happen to get bored with the core Slender game, just check out some of the Slender Man shadow games like Sanatorium, Hospice, Elementary, and numerous others. Some of which have yet to even be released as of when this review goes up. While not as good or original as the first game, they're still definitely worth a try, and this game is too.
Slender Man, all the children try to run. Slender Man, to him it's part of the fun. Slender Man, dressed in darkest suit and tie. Slender Man.